scared me a lot.
Well, it's bonus, so it almost should scare you.
Bonus scare.
Yeah, that's what it is. It's a bonus scare. Math is scary over it. What, number 3? Well, 1 was just conversion stuff. Gold costs so much per ounce, and there are 16 ounces in a pound. So right there, you can multiply that by 16 to see how much it costs per pound. And then I want to know how many pounds of gold would be worth that much. Divide that by how much it costs per pound. That's all I'll say about it. It's bonus. Number 2, I think I had 1 person or 2 people I gave points to for that. Too many guys just said, well, because 3 to the 0 is 1. No, I'm asking you, why is that true? And number 4 is, if I give you something like this, I could set this up.
Number 3.
I could set this up. What do I do with these exponents?
b minus 7 plus 3 plus 5b.
And then what do I do with this exponent?
Minus.
And now I've made it just a like term deal, right? Properties of exponents is the first step. Second step is get your like terms together, right? Exponent properties don't care what you put up here, right? M to the Jeff times M to the math equals M to the Jeff plus math. Because when I multiply like bases, I add the exponents, right? I don't care what I put up there. Properties don't change. They can't. All that changes is the actors I put in them, right? This plus this minus this thing on the bottom, get your like terms together, you're done. So a few of you guys, so think about 5 people got that one right. A few more people got close. Let me think. What's it about? Okay. Alright. So what I'm going to do now, if there's no other questions, I'm going to do a quick little review of the factoring you've learned so far. And then we're going to finish out chapter 5 and maybe even get a little preview of 6.
We're diving into 5, 6 today then at the start.
Oh, wait.
Yay, review time.
And I want you to understand, I'm trying right now, I'm kind of angry right now. I'm trying to let it go away from me because whenever I see people that are trying to work their way around homework or to find other ways to do stuff that just is not the right way to do it, and they don't understand how there's somebody working their ass off, they got 4 jobs, and they do homework like at midnight or whenever they can, and they're working their ass off. I'm like, that's not fair. If you manage to get it past your teacher, and I gotta wonder about your teachers from before. Some of you guys turn homework in where you just write the problem down and there's nothing else. And I'm like, did that work before? So again, I'm not yelling at anybody who's doing their homework appropriately, right? But so, okay. So what we got so far, and hopefully everybody got that handout I gave, the factoring handout. You always try GCF first. Always try that first, right?
Any more workshops for that coming up? Any more workshops?
For factoring? No.
Or all those?
Not. Well, there's more workshops coming up. There's a workshop on chapter 6 coming up next week. Probably just in time for us. So GCF first. I'm not going to do anything. And then what comes next? What do you do when you have 4 terms? Group. And that's actually 4 or more. I think you saw some of the homework that had more terms than that. 4 or more terms you try to group. 3 terms. There's actually 2 little sub-pieces to this. So it always has to be in this kind of format here. I don't know if you guys really picked up on this, but I said it a couple times. The middle guy's power has to be how related to the first guy's power. It's got to be half. Because what's the first thing you do? Wouldn't this be some number x times some number x? Because x times x is x squared. So the middle term is going to have to be something x. Because you cut that first thing in half. So if it was x to the 10th, the middle power better be fifth, because the first thing you're gonna do is cut into the 2x5s. If it's not that way, it won't factor this way. So you let it go. So if you guys are trying to factor something that look like that or something, is that right? I mean, there's a G there, but a G won't come out. This is not the right format. What should be in the middle there, if it's going to work, that G shouldn't be there, and in the middle there should be a D. There isn't, so stop. Right, just stop right there. It's not in the right form to try it, so don't try it. Don't waste time. If A is 1, if A is 1, this is easy. Should be easy. So, for example, something like, let me give you one let's see what you guys think. Well, what do you think, Joe?
A is 1. It's a product of two binomials.
I love it, right? Even if A is not 1, it's still product of two binomials. But this is a one-stepper, really, right? Your one step is to find the numbers that work. Because, of course, how do you split x squared up? Xx, to make x squared. Now, what two numbers multiply to be 26 and add to be 11?
Plus 13 minus 2.
This one's not too bad because there's not too many ways to break up 26. Only 2 and 13 go in, besides 1. So it's got to be 2 and 13, and to make positive 11 come out, which one's got to be positive? The bigger dude. Cool. Okay, right. And again, we went over why that's true. We know, don't ever lose sight that this isn't just us saying, this is the way we decided to do this. We didn't make this up. This is actually how it works. If you multiply this out, you do get this.
May I ask you a question? Does it matter where the 2 or the 3 is? Could you put the 3 first and then the negative 2? And the parentheses?
Oh, or, yeah, certainly, you could do this instead. Right? Either way.
Okay. That's what
Multiplication doesn't care.
Just wanted to make sure.
Okay. So what if A is not equal to 1?
Then it sucks.
Yeah, then it sucks. So let me see if I can make one up like that. So if A is not equal to 1, let me show you some of the stuff that goes into this. All right, Jeff, what are you going to do? I don't know.
See, now he's all confused.
I'm trying to make the problem. You sit there and wait. All right, so what do I try first? What do you always try first?
Multiply 8 by 15.
Well, what do you always try first? Yeah, GCF, right? Is there a GCF?
No.
No, this has got 3 and 5, this has got 2 and 13, this has got 2, 2, 2, nothing that all of them have, right? There's no letters they all have. I still saw a few people do this. I'm not sure how they manage this. You see that?
Yeah, but you can't.
So if you're one of those people, hopefully you see.
X out of the 15.
Why does that not make any sense? If you multiply back in, you suddenly have the 15 suddenly will get an X. Does it have an X?
No.
So you can't take an X out of everybody because that last dude didn't have one. I mean, I want this to make sense. It's not just something you accept and go, well, show me how to do it, and I'll try to remember it. No, if it makes sense, you'll remember it more. So that just doesn't make sense. This, I can't do anything with it the way it is. I can't take a GCF, but now I can do, who said I can't remember? 8 times 15. Let's get that out of here. And what's 8 times 15?
130.
120?
120.
120 x squared? No.
Well, yeah, sure, you could do that.
120 x squared plus.
So what factor? Now I'm trying to figure out factors of 120 that make 26. But what's the?
16 and 2, like 30
16.
and 4.
So we can start making 60 and 2 and 30 and 4, right? Or instead we could say, well, what adds to be 26?
Exactly. So you have to find the
50
two that
and 4.
add to it. No. So
30 and 4 does not add to be 26.
20 times 6.
What would have to be true? In order for those to add to be 26, one of them would have to be
20
negative.
and 6. 20 and 6.
And neither one of them can be negative because it's got to be, everything's positive here, right?
20 and 6.
20 and 6. I love it. That makes 26 and it multiplies to be 120. not trying to multiply to be 26. I'm trying to multiply to be 120. The middle guy is who I'm always trying to add to.
Yeah.
See, the answer lies, you're looking at basically 26, the answer lies in that number, 26, same thing.
Not always. Right? Not always. Just this one happened to be that way. Now what can I do with that 20 and that 6?
What you gonna do?
Plus. It would be the-
I can break this guy up.
Yeah, 20 and 6.
And again, I see it, a lot of you guys doing it different ways. That's beautiful. I love it. Because you could, from the very beginning, you could just start trying things out until it works. That's the trial and error method. If you're not comfortable with numbers, that will normally take you a long time. If you do it this way, it will get you there a little quicker. Because there's a little less playing around with numbers.
13
Again, I don't want it to multiply to be 26.
Okay.
I want it to multiply to be 120.
It's already 20 and 6.
20 and 6 add to be 26. And why do I want them to add to be 26? 2 reasons. One is because they just have to. They have to, because of what we did before to explain why this works. Why do these add to be this? Because they're what's going to be in the middle.
So 20x,
Plus 6x.
Plus 15.
not group.
Cool.
Plus your group.
So the surefire method to me is the best kind of way to learn this. There are other methods that are quicker, but they require you to be really clever with manipulating numbers.
Still don't
So if
have-
you are clever with numbers, you can come by and I can show you something called the Texas slide, which is the way I do it. But that involves sliding the 8 to the back and then make sure you slide pieces of it back to the front. You gotta be real comfortable with just playing with the numbers. This one, there's not a lot of playing around. Right? It's just very, and it gives you extra practice with grouping.
Yes.
Cool.
We still don't have the GCF.
And if any of you guys know the bottoms up method, which I do not want to see anywhere, the first step is this anyway. The first step in bottoms up, you have to get those 2 numbers.
Yeah.
How difficult is it really to put that in there and group? Not. But the bottoms up, you just kind of do something and the numbers pop out magically. I don't like that. Yeah.
So I have a question. How do you know, like, when you split it into 4 terms?
Yes.
How do you know which ones to pair together? Because I've done it a few times where, like, you know, I'll put 8x squared plus 6x plus
Yes.
20x.
And that will work. It should work both ways.
Okay.
All you want, what this first step does, is it finds the 2 numbers that will work. Don't have to be in any order at all. I normally, if it's a negative one in the pot, I'll put the negative first so there's not a negative mistake I can make here, right? When this middle sign is negative, that kind of sucks. It's easy to make negative mistakes. So if I have a choice, but they're both positive, I can put it 20 plus 6 or I can put it 6 plus 20. Doesn't matter.